fear is real for Donald Trump. This is straight up real. Donald Trump decided to truth this after his bid for absolute immunity failed with the appeals courts. Now he's going to the Supreme Court, but more on that later. Here's what he said. If a president does not have immunity, the opposing party during his or her term in office can extort and blackmail the president by saying that, quote, if you don't give us what we want, we will indict you for things you did while in office, even if everything done was totally legal and appropriate. That would be the end of the presidency in our country as we know it. And it is just one of the many traps out there would be for a president without presidential immunity. Obama, Bush, and soon crooked Joe Biden would all be in prison. Protect presidential immunity, make America great again. Now, I didn't do my Trump voice or anything because I want to get straight to the point, but this guy is terrified. He is terrified beyond belief. You see, here's the thing about all of this. We all know it's a lie because, quite honestly, you're the only president in American history, Trump, who's committed crimes while in office. Presidential immunity doesn't cover crimes when you get out of office. So you're saying that what you did on January 6th, pushing a terrorist attack on our country because you lost an election, was totally legal? Letting a virus hit this country, well, I shouldn't even put it that way because honestly, you're not being charged with the corona pandemic and the deaths of millions of people, although you probably should be because whatever. Anyway, trying to steal an election was perfectly legal as President of the United States? Because we have boatloads of evidence showing you did steal evidence, try to steal the election from Joe Biden after the election was called for him, after he showed that he was the president-elect. That's not appropriate, Trump. That is a crime. And despite how many times you want to try to push Fannie Willis under the bus under some non-existent affair that she may or may not have had, which is none of your damn business, or it doesn't affect the prosecution against you, you're still going to trial. The courts have spoken, and not to mention your cohorts who are probably facing jail time have spoken. At some point, Trump, you're going to be held responsible for what you have done. But I just love it how he said he's trying to claim altruism and claim he's trying to protect presidential immunity. He's trying to protect Obama, Bush, and Joe Biden. I just love it how he tries to protect them. How he says he wants to protect presidential immunity for their sake. He's not trying to protect them from their sake. He's trying to cover his own ass, and it's not going to work. He's saying that a president can be blackmailed or bribed. You've already been blackmailed or bribed. You just haven't been blackmailed or bribed by American senators or anyone else. You were blackmailed and you were bribed by Russian President Vladimir Putin, no doubt by Chinese President Xi, and definitely by Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea. They may not have paid you money, as far as we know. They haven't paid you any kind of money, as far as we know. But every time they kiss your ass and everything else, they say that's the payoff, basically. They kiss your ass, they shake your hand, they make you feel like the most important person in the world, and you eat it up. In a recent Fox News interview, at one point, excuse me, at one point, you accused China of sending people across the Mexican-U.S. border, claiming that they're trying to create terrorist attacks against the United States, but on the other breath, you say that President Xi, he is a great man. I get along with him well. He's a great man. I like him a lot. That's talking out of both sides of your own ass, Trump. And again, it's not going to fool anybody. Here are the facts of the situation. Presidential immunity doesn't cover crimes after you get out of office, especially if we got evidence that you committed those crimes. Your people are talking in the Georgia case, the RICO case. Your people are starting to talk on the January 6th case. You have mountains of evidence against you. Mountains of evidence against you. So you can try to claim presidential immunity all you want. It's not going to work. At the end of the day, you are a criminal. And one way or another, you are going to pay the price, Trump. But these truths you're putting out show to us that you are terrified. You know the walls are closing in on you. The noose is getting tighter and tighter and tighter against you, Trump. You're terrified. And the more you're terrified about this, the more and more and more you show how sick and twisted you are. But that's not the real fear of this. Ever since the announcement that Donald Trump has no immunity, zero immunity for crimes he committed as president, truths like this are going to get worse. And it's only a matter of time before he calls his supporters to commit acts of violence against this country. Be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen, because it's coming. It's coming. But as for you, Trump, I'm just going to repeat my famous phrase. There can be no peace without first the great suffering. The greater the suffering, the greater the peace. Right now, Trump, you're suffering. But don't worry. The peace is coming for you in the form of a jail cell. Bank on it. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.